Yes, ma'am. Hold on. I'm right ready for tuning for you. Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, whatever may be the case. Thank you again for tuning in to the Soundview Media Soul Show with Cecil Young, coming to you live 100 miles an hour. And I want you to consider going into YouTube as well. You know, we have over 35 to 40 shows on this air pertaining to the issues that I'm going to talk about today. But before I spend my time talking about that today, I want to talk about something that happened with one of my stepsons in terms of the court. Now, you see here, I had a post up here showing that I put up a $500 bond for him, okay, because he was caught behind child support. As we all know, that there's a lot of folks that owe kids child support to a lot of different folks. And what troubles me is that this man has been locked up, 3 different times within a 6-month period? Every time he seems to go to the court, they take his money, whatever he got in his pocket, and put it towards the kids. I understand that because that's his money, no, to his kids. I can understand the court doing that. But I don't understand why the court will take my $500 bond money. I'm his stepfather, not his father, his stepfather. I didn't get him to go out there and have no baby, but he went out there and had a baby, and he's responsible for that child. And I say to the court, you did the right thing by locking him up or making him go to those programs that he's been complying with. Every program you asked him to comply with, he complied with. And that's why I say, why would you take my $500 that I need for my light bills and my gas bills and put it towards his child support unit? I didn't have the baby. He had the baby. Okay, his name is Curtis Johnson. My name is Cecil Young. Now, his mother's no longer here because she passed away, helping me to fight this battle for many years. Okay, so I feel an obligation to the kids because it scattered my family and caused a lot of hardship that we ain't gonna get over with because there's been quite a bit of pain as a result of me trying to fight for my rights, and she stood by her man. And that's why I'm standing by her son. And all I'm saying is that the $500 I put up was for a bond to be received back once he's released. Now, he went through the program that they had him to go through, and he had to pay for that program, and whatever he had to do, he had to comply with it, and he complied with it. What troubles me is that when I got him out on the first bond, it was $350. I got that $350 bond after he finished going through their program, or whatever he involved in that. Okay, there was no problem. But 2 months later, they lock him up again, okay, and put him on a $500 bond. Now, that $500 bond is my bond. 11/23/05. They took my $500 that was put up for a bond, not to take my money to put it towards his baby that he made. He's responsible for his child. Okay, but they took my money and I asked for it back, and they said, hey, sorry. What do you mean sorry? So I'm going to pursue this matter as to why they took my bond, because I have to think about those elderly senior citizens that have adopted their kids because their parents, some of their parents are on drugs and are doing wild things. Okay, but a lot of those kids who had those babies are 14, 15 years old. And the reality of it is, as much as we want to lock everybody up for committing a crime or not complying with the laws, there's got to be a better way in doing what we're doing. Especially when it comes to taking people's money that was put up for one purpose and then you take and use it for another purpose. Now the second bond you put them on 11/23/25, okay, it was now $1,500 bond. Well, why would I put up another $1,500 bond out of my pocket to get him out of jail, knowing you're going to take that $1,500 and put it again towards his child support? That is not right. Tell somebody what they're doing before you take their money. And all I'm saying is to this program, to the state of Connecticut, to the judges, I appreciate your concern about wanting to make these adults responsible for their kids. But if you think about it, I'm sure if you went around almost every corner in this city and around this state, you can pick them off left and right, those who owe child support. Now, this is a young man, 40 years old, okay, he's never really been a troublemaker. He got a little caught up in something at his job, okay, where they had to get rid of him. Okay, so he's been struggling ever since. He's been through a lot with his wife, just leaving him and so on for another person. But the bottom line is that he's not a bad person. I say to you, he has skills. He has skills that we should not be locking him up after you took my $500 especially, and then to not put him to work doing something for the state of Connecticut. I say that those prisoners that don't have money, that don't have jobs, those families that don't have money, don't have jobs, assign them to work in our cities, around our highways. There's a lot of trash on our different parts of our highways throughout the state of Connecticut that these men and women can be used to help out people that need help to clean up a part of our state that ain't been clean like it should be clean. That is manpower. Why do we feed them, teach them, and don't use them to help get something back for what we're giving them? Because we're still paying for their housing. We're still feeding them. So why lock them up without giving them something to do for the state of Connecticut who's supporting them in their jails during the time that they're in there? You got carpenters, you got electricians, you got all kind of masonry people in those prisons that can be used to help us build up and improve the city in which they live in. They got skills. They just got habits. Habits make you do things that you normally wouldn't do once you get caught up and caught out. And we know how drugs is. What does alcohol do to you? What does cigarettes do to you? What does anything do that you know that you shouldn't be taking, but you do it anyway because we are creatures of habit. And when you're aggravated, when you're frustrated, we're capable of doing all kind of things. So I say to the court, I'm going to be down there on the 27th, and I hope that you don't lock me up for asking my $500 back, because I'm coming for it. And if I don't come forward, I'm going to pass flyers out asking you to tune into the show so you can hear why I ask for my money. And I say we can use those inmates to help make our cities cleaner, safer, cross guards. You can have them go in people's homes that are senior citizens that need people to cut their grass and to paint their apartments, to improve their houses. We can use these guys and these ladies to help us do so many things instead of just locking them up to the prison system, allowing them to make the kind of money, knowing that as soon as they get out of jail, they're going to come right back doing the same thing over again. Why? Because they're going to have exposed them to things that they really are capable of doing. Curtis is a good carpenter. He knows how to use that pen. He knows how to use the scalpel to cut things and to put them in its right place. And I say to you, use him. Don't abuse him. So he made a mistake and had a baby. He had 3 babies, but only one of them that he's maintaining the last of the payments with the one that he has, because the others he took care of best he could until things came down on him. We all got problems. Nobody's perfect. So please, Your Honor, do not take me offensive. Do not take Curtis offensive. He left word with me. Please don't go down to the court where they're going to lock me up even longer. Yes, they locked him up even longer now because they want me to give $1,500 to get you out of jail. I cannot do that. I do not have that kind of money, Curtis. So I'm sorry, and I hope the judge consider what he did to you and consider giving you a chance to work for the state of Connecticut or for the city of Bridgeport in another way. Avoid being put in jail where we have to feed you and teach you things that we shouldn't have to be doing at all, but providing the fact that you're able to do for yourself. So now, as I said before, I'm not going to just talk about that, but I had to bring that point across. I want to talk about the fact that I know that you heard me talk about Jody Paul and Janet Finch asking for a medical leave request, okay, all right. You see on 2006, okay, my doctor's note was not sufficient. Do you hear that, my dear? Can you reflect on the letter of the doctor? They said that my doctor note was still not qualified, justified for me to be out. Hello, are you there? All right.
Yes, that's the letter of March 10th, 2006, from the City of Bridgeport Labor Relations and Benefit Administration. Dear Mr. Young, a copy of your doctor's note was received today in this office. However, this documentation is still not acceptable as it does not provide a diagnosis/reason for your absence. Therefore, your absence is considered an unauthorized absence. In accordance with the city attendance policy, upon an unauthorized absence of 3 or more
I'm sorry, baby. Hold on, let me cut you off. Could you do that all over again? I didn't have the mic to the phone. I'm sorry about that. Do it all over again. We got time. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. It's the letter from the City of Bridgeport Labor Relations and Benefit Administration, dated March 10th, 2006. Dear Mr. Young, a copy of your doctor's note was received today in this office. However, this documentation is still not acceptable as it does not provide a diagnosis/reason for your absence. Therefore, your absence is considered an unauthorized absence. In accordance with the city attendance policy, upon an unauthorized absence of 3 or more consecutive days, the employee will be deemed to have resigned from employment. You must return to work immediately, or you will be deemed to have voluntarily resigned your position as a security guard with the city of Bridgeport. If you have any questions, please call your union rep. Signed, Jody L. Paul, Labor Relations Officer.
The Labor Relations Department, you would think that's the department that would sit down with you and try to find out why you needed the medical leave request. But again, let's listen to what Janet Finch said on March 17, 2006.
Yes, dear Mr. Young, our office is in receipt of your application for family and medical leave. Based upon the reason for leave that you provided, your request has been denied. Your reason for leave does not meet the requirement of a serious health condition or any other reason for leave as defined under the Family and Medical Leave Act. If you have any questions regarding this decision, please contact the Office of Labor Relations. Sincerely, Janet M. Finch.
And you know what troubles me again? Now, these are two department heads that know good and well right from wrong, and you know you're supposed to sit down and discuss what is the reason why you got what you got, what is the real reason why you're out. And if I gave them that information, you would think they would honor that. But they didn't honor that because they wanted to get rid of me because of me complaining about the contaminated dirt piles. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the tape of Dr. Evans proving the fact that on March 16, 2006, that I did come to work. But because of what she was threatened, and she gave the okay that I came to work, but later on she ended up changing it because she got a call from the mayor and everybody else saying, Dr. Evans, they made you look like a fool. All right, what are you going to do, Dr. Evans? So I'm going to let you get a little bit of that now. Here we go with Dr. Evans when I first recorded this, unbeknown to her. Now we're going to hear Tony Paul's remarks. not showing up. You hear that? Not showing up. He voted to agree with the city to terminate me, but he put in there that I did not show up. Huh? Come on. I did not show up. Lie. Mike Cohen, lie. No wonder he said I didn't show up. I'll show you that in a minute. This is my union representative at the medical hearing. See, voluntary employees cannot collect benefits. The terminated employees do. I was a voluntarily terminated employee. 6 months they owed me. 6 months. Terminated employees deserve 6 months. And before that. These are the agreements they wanted me to sign. One from the union, one from the labor board. No. This is never covering the state, it's the United States. And they have to sign up under the mayor's name. Why would the mayor be involved in a union matter, personnel matter, and the city attorney, chief city attorney, and Jody Paul, all of them who conspired to violate my civil rights. We're also ordered to undertake, here's the state auditor's findings. In 2010, they did their complete report based on Assistant Attorney General Mitchell. Within a year's time, these are the two auditors. Now, if you notice on the auditor's report, they call my doctor's note literally straps of paper. Those are the doctor notes. Well, he reports telling what I was being treated for extreme anxiety. The nurse was not good enough. The nurse's complaint was not good enough. So the doctor had to put his own signature. In 2005, they accepted the same signature in 2005. But in 2006, they had a problem with who? Who had a problem with Dr. Evans, Jody Paul, or the labor board? He apparently had the problem. Read it. In this case, the client showed up with clean strips of paper. And the doctor was never allegedly not treating for what the complainant was complaining about. What does that say? Mr. Young was followed by Dr. Rader for several years. That's his signature. And here's the reason why I feel like they're afraid of Gerald Wayne and Mike Coy, because he sat on the board in labor relations for 20 years. Both of them got 20 years of seniority. So any lawyer that's starting out fresh, especially a young lawyer, is afraid to go against them for repercussions. And those seasoned lawyers know better, so they're leaving it alone. I needed a private attorney that got balls and guts that are willing to stand up against injustice. Will someone please help me? My lawyer, I paid $10,000 to Attorney John Williams. Never once responded to any of my issues. 35 years, I was working 35 hours a week. They cut it down to 20 hours because of the contaminated dirt piles. There's at least 50 different shows that I've done over the last 3 years that you can download up on the Soundview Media as well as YouTube and get all the facts of what I've been saying during those 35 to 40 shows. Please download those shows. You can download them 24/7, Monday through Sunday, nighttime, daytime, in your cell phone, in your home phone, whatever. Download it and help me prove that they illegally lynched me with a pen, and people that look like you and me are so-called friends. So our council, even though they have a reflection of color, but they're not responding to color people's needs because they're going along with the Pharaoh's bidding. And that's why I say it has to be stopped. Look at me. I've been a community activist for 60 years. 60 years speaking about public safety concerns. Milner Avenue, across from where I live off across Tower Avenue. It's not like that now. Why? Because we said something about it in news, and Soundview Media did the profile of it. So they have been cleaning it up 2 or 3 days a week. They go and clean it up. The trucks are no longer there. Thank God for Soundview Media. Again, it troubles me all of what I've sacrificed for this city over all the years that I've given to this city, huh? Saving Officer Tony Simmons' life, who was gunned down on Stratford Avenue because he was enforcing no order in law. Okay, and even though the brother who shot him, I knew him. Okay, and he wanted to get away, and I couldn't get him away because I didn't have the keys to the car. And thank God I didn't have the keys to the car. But Craig Kelly did have the keys to the car. So I snatched up the officer off the ground, pulled my car up the one-way street, dragged him into the back seat of my car, and took him to Bridgeport Hospital. They thought we set him up. It wasn't a setup. It was just me and my conscience saying, hey, hold up. He was doing his job. Even though the brother I was with that took him out, okay, that wasn't my job to protect him. My job was to protect those who got paid, took an oath to protect that city, that neighborhood. But something caused them to snap and they reacted. But it don't mean that I had to leave that officer hollering for help, help, help. I'm dying. No, I picked him up, picked his gun up, picked his hat up, and a little boy, 10 years old, helped drag him into the back seat of his car. Tony Simmons, officer. And I'm really getting a little aggravated over the fact that it's been a year almost now, all right? It's been a year almost now that Consul Newton, okay, Consul Newton and Anita, you see what they said in that letter? They told them that they wanted them to respond. You want to do that letter, baby? And Councilman Newton and them, what they said, and here it is a year later. She's going to give you what Newton said, and this is what troubles me too, because even though they did the letter, and I thank them for this letter, the letter was more beautiful than I could have ever wrote it myself. I was so impressed, it brought me to tears. I bring myself to tears, knowing that when I went to meet with the people that he told me to meet with, it hurt me so bad when he gave me the impression, like, what do you want? What do you think I want? What have I been coming there for the last 19 years? What do I want? I want my name cleared. You unjustly terminated me. Okay, and I'm sad that my council persons, Ernest Newton and Anita, have not made them respond to that. It's going on another whole year. April 8th was when they wrote this letter. We're heading back to April 8th again. It will be my birthday, April 6th, when the next council meeting will meet, and I will raise that issue at 76 years old. I'm tired of being treated like the N-word, and especially with people that look like you and me. You got elected saying you represent your people. You're concerned about your people. Well, I say, what about me? I put out over several hundred flyers, posters, helping to show that Nita and Newton is helping me out. But it troubles me that Newton, as much as I love you and respect you, brother, it hurts me knowing that you could walk by me like I don't even exist, okay? And I feel your cut. I feel like a razor blade going by me every time you walk by me. You can't even look me in the face. Not one time have you called me up and said, Cecil, we're looking into your situation, brother. We're going to get some justice for you. We're going to make sure that even if you don't be treated with disrespect, you're going to get respect because I am a senior politician. And Anita, you've been there 19 years, me hollering for you to respond to my issue. Thank God you responded to it, even if it took 19 years to get you to respond to it. For whatever may be the reason, I thank God for that. But I really want to thank Councilman George Cruz, who planted the seeds in Newton's head to say to Newton, this brother I've known in P.T. Barnum for years, who've always been out to helping people of all colors. I'm going to stand with him. And I'm asking you, I'm going to support you, Newton, but I want you to support Cecil. And he did that. And Newton, what you did, you recruited Anita. After 19 years, you recruited Nina. And what troubles me, Newton, you was with me on the scene when it happened, okay? And that's why I said to you before, okay, I'm getting sick and tired, okay, about our leaders. Now here it is, Ralph Ford and Testo, okay, Democrat of the Democratic Party. When we had the Citizens Committee that you can see on YouTube's Soundview Media 7 days a week, you will see that we had a Citizens Committee on the East End that we were meeting every week. We were having breakfasts every week with Holloway, Newton, Warren Blunt, Al Penn, Eddie Gomes, and with all the above, all of our elected officials, Shirley Beam, Felita Hudson, all those folks was crying out that Gannon was not responding to us. So I, with the biggest mouth, with my loudspeakers and my gang, I brung it all to the yacht club and we began to perform. We began to motivate people to show up at the meetings. People started coming from all over the place, Sam Boy and a whole number of other folks, ex-officials, police officers, and all the above. We had it going on. But what troubles me, we opened up the police post on Stratford Avenue. Never a police sat in that building. Why? Because we got broke up because the Pharaohs started meeting with them behind closed doors and they began to drop their agenda. They began to drop their concern. And I'm saying I'm sick and tired of going along with these kind of folks that are really nothing but false prophets. If you're really concerned about me, say something. Get mad. Get angry. How dare you let this drag on for a year and not the mayor tell you some answers, show you, produce the evidence that you requested. You are our elected officials. And I'm saying shame on Brian Luckhart from the Connecticut Post, the Bridgeport Post. What is it that I did to you, Brian Luckhart? What did I do to you, editor of the Connecticut Post? I don't know you. You don't know me. How dare you not want to respond to these council persons saying what they wanted, that these matters looked into. Not you have no room in your paper to put it in there. I stopped buying your paper for almost a month and a half. But I'm going to start it back this month and hope to God that you change, because I'm not going to just talk about you and not participate in your program. I'm going to buy the paper for the next month. I'm going to sign up for the next month. But after that, I'm going to encourage people, we need to start boycotting the Bridgeport, the Connecticut Post, that was once here in Bridgeport, that made its life here in Bridgeport. I'm going to say, let's stop boarding and supporting that paper, because there ain't too much in there as it is. Unless a nigga or a Puerto Rican kill themselves, there's no real story about what's going on in our neighborhoods. You got a few of us, like Clyde Nichols and myself and George Cruz and others, that will speak out. Anita, they will speak out about issues that affect our community. Having not an article been in the Connecticut Post since Brian Luckhart been in charge with the Connecticut Post for 17 years. Why Brian Luckhart? Why? Why are you acting that way? Oh, I know why. You were so in love with being in the back room with Mayor Ganem and the powers that be as they make their decisions as to what they're going to do. So instead of you being fair and impartial, doing what you were trained to do, you go along with the program just so you can be a headliner every week. Great to be on the headline. Give me the headline about how you treated me when I went to shake your hand in City Hall 2 weeks ago. You gave me your left hand, and I couldn't believe it. And I went back again 10 minutes later and tell you something else, and you gave me your left hand again. Do you feel that way about me? Talk to me. Confront me. You got a problem with me? Deal with me, Brian Luckhart. Huh? Shame on you. This is our city. This is our neighborhood. You can make the mayor look like all you want. But the bottom line is, how many people are involved in that development that's going on downtown on Stratford Avenue with those 50 or 400 units that are being rehabbed? What's going on with that? Are we a part of that development? Are we going to be a part of that once it is developed? Huh? What's going on with all the different places that you're giving out to these out-of-towners, letting them rehab these buildings? How many of y'all have people on board the commission to make sure that we get a piece of the pie? We got people with all kinds of skills that are in jail and on their way to hell. All right? Why? Because they're caught up and caught out. They need help. They need opportunities. So stop putting it on one in order to do what some and what we all could do together. It's all about we, not me. And that's why I said to y'all before, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm 76. Yes, I'm tired. Okay, I've done my part. I can sit down and relax. Like I said before, these are the things that I've done, whether you knew it, whether you like it or not. And these were the reporters that wrote about me back in the day. They didn't write about me because they liked me, because I sound good. They wrote about me because of the things that I was talking about, the things that I was doing. Look at what I was doing. Huh? Town committee member, huh? Supervisor Housing Authority Police, huh? Supervisor over 300 workfare recipients for the city of Bridgeport, huh? People that would be cut off and didn't have no place else to go. But I said, give them to me. Open up the East End Community Police Force. Why? Because I care about our people. You talk about, oh, somebody got shot, and we want to cry, and we don't want to say something. We got to do something. What are you going to do? You ain't going to do nothing but run up at the mouth. But you've been doing. Instead of doing what you're going to do, I've been doing this stuff all my life. Huh? Ever since I was 14, 15, 16 years old, I was out there in the eye of the storm. We opened up the Gary Crooks Memorial Center back then. Huh? Some 40, 50 years ago. Look at Ernest Newton. He was there with that picture 20 years ago. He hasn't been making no real issue about that. He know that they've been trying to lynch me. Okay, and I thank him for acknowledging the fact that he wants them to look into it. He sounded good when he said that, but he didn't put no fire behind what he said. The letter sounds good. I feel impressed with the letter he wrote. I will never forget the letter he wrote. But what hurts me is that he would allow the system to play me and for him to walk by me and not to give me any heads up, my brother, we got your agenda. They're going to respond to you whether they want to or not. I say, shame on you. And that's why I say, when you talk about our district leaders, Ralph Ford and all the above, I'm saying, let's stop this. Okay? If they really all the above and mean all the above, why don't they start showing it? Huh? Start showing me your compassion, your love for one another. All right? You want to be the vice chairman of the Democratic Party? Be that. But as you be that, be also, too, what we need to help our people who need help. Huh? Stop fishing for them. Teach them how to fish. Huh? Teach them how to fish. Me being attacked, being forced to have to undergo an operation, took 7.5 years. Not one time have I got apology from anybody from the city of Bridgeport. Why? I'm talking about raw sewage. Raw sewage in the basement of these people's houses. And I'm being put out of court because I'm talking about it. I'm being attacked because I'm talking about it. I'm being angry and being barred because I said I'm tired of being treated like a nigger. I'm a black man. You shame on you, huh? And ain't no one says Cecil. Oh my God. Cecil was telling the truth all that time. He been saying he was disabled. He never once said he need time off for his back. He was living with his pain in his back. He never once used his back to take time off of work, which he could have been doing for many years, but I didn't do it. Why? Because my back was strong enough to keep me going. It ain't now. It ain't now. Why? Because of my First Amendment right being taken from me. Taken from me, which caused me pain that's unbearable. That I have to wear a back brace every damn day. Every day I put a back brace on for what? You can't say apology? You say you want justice? Well, give me my justice. Give me my day in court. Don't treat me like a foreigner. I am an African American, born and raised here in the city of Bridgeport. What did the jury? They treated me with two different stocks, Dr. Winnie and Dr. Cecil and four other doctors. They treated me and showed you that I am disabled. Dr. Raymond is a clinical psychologist. He said I'm disabled. Dr. Walker is a specialist. He said I'm disabled. Why y'all treat me like I'm a foreigner? This is America, not no communist state. This is the United States. And I'm saying to those who heard this show, those of y'all with the black groups and the Puerto Rican groups and the white groups, well, what about me? Cecil Young, not because you like him, because he's not programmed to your satisfaction, but he's a brother speaking truth to power, and he's going to continue doing it as long as the Lord will give him breath to use it. And I'm going to use it or I'm going to lose it. And right now I don't plan on losing anything no more than I have to. I'm going to keep on walking. I'm going to keep on talking until my justice comes. Look at this letter from Superintendent Walls, from Mayor Tom Busey, giving me an opportunity to serve the police on Stratford Avenue, to walk up and down Stratford Avenue, a city that was losing business left and right. Why? Because of the gunplay, because of the killing. Yet I, Cecil Young, not a trained officer, took it upon myself to say, send me, Lord, like David said to get Goliath. Move back, get out the way. Let me deal with Goliath. And what did he do? He went in his back right pocket, looked down on the ground, picked up a rock. What did it do to David? What did David do to Goliath? Took that rock and put it in that slingshot, hit him in the head. What did he do then? Fell on the ground. And when he fell on the ground, what did he do after that? He took his head. So stop trying to take mine. Well, you can use my head, because my head is for our people, not for you, not for me. I am a free mandingo. A free mandingo. Keep that in mind as you watch the next show. And I say shame on the Human Rights Commission. They had the audacity to call me 2 weeks ago telling me your legal department had reviewed my complaints and they see my complaints as not being irrelevant. I say shame on you. It's not irrelevant because you didn't take no complaints that I gave you, other than the fact that I said Governor Malloy is committing fraud by allowing these people to get away with fraud. Albert Murphy, Gerald Weiner, Mike Cohat is being allowed. Hold on, I'm talking. They're all, what happened? Oh, Ned Lamont. I'm sorry, thank you for that insight. It was Ned Lamont who I gave several documents to in black and white about Gerald Weiner, Mike Cohat committing fraud. And I say to the Republican Party, if you got any kind of sense, you need to download these shows and ask Governor, what do you say, Lamont? Hello? You tell Lamont, all right, that somebody's going to follow up on these responses. And you can tell your human rights so-called committee to send me a letter. They was told by State Rep. Andre Baker to investigate these allegations, and they called me and told me that Alvin Penn, our state rep, said he wanted this matter investigated, looked into. And you got the nerve to call me 3 months and 7 days later telling me your legal department that looked at it and your legal department that said they can't see anything worthwhile pursuing. I guess not. They didn't get nothing. All they got was your governor ignoring fraud about his commissioners. And I guess you wouldn't say nothing. The commission that he got running y'all is appointed by the governor. Let's bring it all out, because it's going to come out. It's only a matter of time. If you don't kill me, you're going to get it out sooner or later, whether it get through the Republican Party or to the president or to the United States Attorney General's office. This stuff is not going nowhere. Before this goes, and I told here at Soundview Media to do a profile on me, Cecil Young, telling the best parts that you could about why they killed this black man. This black man who refused to bow down to the Pharaoh and his heroes. And I'm sick and tired of black folks that look like you and me who won't take no time to organize our people like they should be organized. We should be meeting twice a week, 3 times a week, every month, until we can begin to meet the needs of the people. And the program should be what's on your mind. Not sit there and give them a lecture about something that they ain't got no business wanting to hear a lecture about. They're coming to meetings because they want to be heard. So to the NAACP and the DDD and anybody else, when people come to your meetings, ask them what's on their mind. Because there's a reason why they come to these meetings. Hear what they got to say, then you might get them committed to doing what you ask them to do when the time comes to do it. You wonder why we let's go to vote. Why come we won't go let's voting with the kind of stuff y'all putting out? Promissory notes that are not bearing no fruits, and I'm tired of them sour grapes. So I say to you, I'll be 76 April 6th, and I think that may be my last day on this earth in terms of me trying to lead y'all people out of bondage, because these folks that we got leading us, Ralph Ford, Ernest Newton, and all the above, when they start having meetings, drawing people to the meetings and telling them what's going on, until I begin to hear that, say that, and that Senator Gaston. That Senator Gaston, can you believe that? He's the senator of our district. He will not call me. He will not respond to me. Why? Because he's on the payroll? I don't know this man. I never met this senator. But his phone rings me from time to time to have the so-called family telethon, what do you call it, the telethon. And I hold on to the call a couple of times. And the telethon, by the time they got to me, it was over. So I wrote him a letter, several letters, emailed him several times. He have not to this day responded to me. And he's supposed to be a man of God. You wonder why come I find it hard to go into a church and believe these pimps and these false prophets? Because that's what they're producing. False prophets that are keeping our people in bondage. Instead of teaching them how to fish, they're feeding them. You can't keep feeding people who need to be taught how to survive. What you going to do when you're gone? Come on. It's me today. It could be you tomorrow. Thank you for listening to the Cecil Young Show. I hope I said enough for you to tell your neighbor, tell your friend, turn in the Soundview Media and YouTube and download the Cecil Young Show, who will give you what you need to know in order for you to get through the snow. Have a good day.